Hey there, welcome to day 23 of our Let's Grow annual challenge. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. And we're going to start applying our grow process. I haven't quite named it and got the acronyms right yet, but we're going to hop into step one. Yesterday, we picked an area that we wanted to grow in. And I thought about two areas pretty much in depth. One was financial and one was physical. And I went back and I picked how I picked. I'm going to just share my process was I went back and I looked at the priorities that I'd set. And I looked at this year as well as last year. And in both those areas, I had picked them as in my top three. And I hadn't made much progress in them over last year. Now, I had made progress, but not as much growth as I want. And I want to see going forward, right? I'm always looking to grow in a couple areas and aspects of my life. And physical and financial. Physical, financial, I think, I don't remember what the other ones. I want to say relationships were my top three last year. And my top three this year. The order changes every once in a while, but those are always very, very important to me, right? As are all the life framework areas, because if we don't pay attention to all of them at least a little bit, something's going to happen to get our attention. I'm a prime example of that. So today, step one of our process, we've gone through and we played with our process for the last few days, and I think we're going to keep it pretty much the same, even though like last year, the order feels a little off to me. I think by practicing it and working with it, it'll become more comfortable. Step one is, what do you want, right? Whenever we're changing or growing or making a decision about something, the first thing we have to know is, what do we want? What's our outcome? Because if we don't have an outcome, if we don't have a goal, and this step is to set a clear goal for this area, if we don't have that, we don't have direction. If we don't have direction or a place on the top of the mountain that we're going to, it's like if you're going on a trip and you're like, I'm just going to get in the car and I'm going to drive, and wherever I end up every day. And whether, maybe one day you feel like going south and the next day you feel like going north, and then the next day you feel like going east, and the next day you feel like going west, and you find out that you end up right back in the same spot that you started because you didn't have a direction. You didn't have a goal in mind. But if I set a direction that, hey, I'm going to go visit my mom in Texas, I get in the car and I head south and I keep going south till I get to her house, right? Usually I plug it into the GPS and the GPS gives me directions from my house to her house, which is amazing technology these days. So our first step today is determine what you want. I am going to pick physical. I decided this morning that I'm going to go ahead and it was between the two. I'm going to have a physical goal. Why? Because I got sick at the end of 2023 and into 2024, and it started my year off slowly. So I think the specific goal I'm going to choose, and I just decided that as I was turning on the video, is my ideal weight. How am I going to get to my ideal weight, and not just get there, but stay there for the vast majority of this year? And I think I'm just deciding right now that our first month of in-depth growth areas will be physical. Why? Because if our health and our physical body and our energy and our attention isn't right, we're going to struggle. I think that's why so many people set New Year's resolutions about their physical well-being, health, exercise, nutrition, stop drinking, stop smoking, things like that. So what are we going to do today? We are going to set a clear goal for the area that we want to grow in. Mine, physical, ideal weight, and not just get it, maintain my ideal weight throughout, be nice the rest of my life, right? I'm one of those people that has flexed and yo-yo dieted most of my life and had lots of health challenges, which impacts my weight and my health and my energy and everything as well. So physical for me is very important, although I tried to ignore it for about 2-3 decades along the way. It didn't work out very well. All right, goal. What's your clear goal? What do you want? And how I get at my clear goal is I ask myself, what do I want? And if I don't know what I want, I just start writing a list of the things that I don't want with respect to my physical well-being, my health. And then it's easy to just look at the opposite. If I don't want to be fat and lethargic, I want to be fit, trim, energized, and active, right? I just take the opposite of that thing. Any questions about this, hit me up. Of course, there's a write-up in Guide 2 of the Let's Grow Annual Challenge private Facebook group. And I think I've got Beth's story in there today. Beth's story I shared. So any questions, ask. Otherwise, I am here, and I will see you tomorrow.